my dear fellow Shikers. Congratulations, fragmentation fanatics. You've just leveled up to no ACK mode experts. By now, you're probably dreaming of FCN, fragment compressed numbers, aren't you? Don't worry, it's a common side effect of becoming a fragmentation guru. These little numbers are like the world's most dedicated countdown, tirelessly repeating from max to zero. It's like New Year's Eve, but for data packets. And let's not forget our VIP, the all-one fragment. It's that overachiever with all its bits set to 1, strutting in at the end saying, "That's all, folks." Now, here's where things get a bit tragic. If a fragment gets lost along the way, well, it's game over for the full message. No second chances, no fragment recovery hotline. It's like losing a piece of a jigsaw puzzle, the picture just won't be complete. Alright, fragmentation aficionados, buckle up because we're about to explore the wild world of ACK Always mode. Don't worry, it's not as clingy as it sounds. Our beloved fragment format hasn't gone through a dramatic makeover. It's more like it got a cool new accessory, a shiny new bit for numbering windows. We've got a new celebrity in town, the All Zero, an FCN value with all the bits set to 0. This diva is actually signaling the end of the windows. Picture our sender as the world's most enthusiastic puzzle maker. In this example, they've set up 2 puzzle boxes, Window 0 and Window 1. Window 0 is the hottest spot in town. It's packed tighter than a hard drive with no empty space. Every fragment is there, rubbing elbows with its binary buddies. Now, Window 1 is more like the chill-out room. It's not quite full yet, with fragments 6 through 1 hanging out, and usually it is less crowded. And who's that we see at the door? It's our potential drama queen, the All One, possibly making its grand entrance to close out the party. Picture this: for each window, our receiver becomes a bit of an artist, creating a bitmap. It's like a seating chart for fragments, but way cooler. Each fragment gets its own special bit in this map, including our fashionably late friends, All Zero and All One. They're not picky, they'll take the rightmost seat at the end. Now, folks, it's showtime. Let's watch our sender strut its stuff with the Window 0. Every time a fragment shimmies its way to the receiver, our bitmap lights up like a disco floor. Oh, hold up. FCN4, what's the holdup? You're moving slower than a sloth in molasses. Look at FCN3, showing off and arriving fashionably early. Our bitmap's keeping score. And the bike goes on, a digital disco, dusk till dawn, where packets dance and data streams in binary beats and buffer dreams. Finally, all our fragment friends have made it to the party. The bitmaps lit up like Times Square on New Year's Eve. We did it. We're all here. And, oops. Your professor just had a senior moment. I completely forgot to introduce you to the acknowledgement message. But let's roll out the red carpet and give this star the intro it deserves. Drum roll, please. Remember when we said fragmentation rules are unidirectional like a one-way street? Well, here's the juicy gossip on why. The other direction is for the acknowledgement message. Now, this acknowledgement message isn't just any old data packet. Oh no, it's got a whole new wardrobe, but it still wears the same name tag, carrying the same rule ID and window number as its fragment friends. First up, we've got the C bit. When it's true or 1, it's screaming RCS is correct, but don't get too excited. This only happens when the last fragment finally decides to show up to the party. Talk about fashionably late. If the C bit is set to 0, we've got the bitmap, that masterpiece our receiver's been painstakingly painting. It's like a detailed report card, showing which fragments made it to class and which ones are playing hooky. So in essence, our receiver is like that one friend who always texts back, letting the sender know exactly which fragments made it to the party and which ones got lost on the way. It's not just polite, it's protocol. But wait, I see those gears turning in your tech-savvy brains. You're wondering what happens if some fragments vanish into the digital ether. Alright, data detectives, it's time to dust off our digital magnifying glasses and plunge back into this mystery. Let's rewind our packet parade. Picture these two of our fragment friends got bitten by the disco bug and decided to take an impromptu trip to Studio 54 of the internet. These groovy bits, the ones who were doing the hustle in our data race, have suddenly disappeared faster than you can say staying alive. The receiver gets a all zero and spins out a bitmap. This binary boogie map is pointing out which fragments are missing. The sender sends them again. The two missing fragments have been received, completing the window. With all fragments now accounted for, the receiver can send an acknowledgement to confirm successful receipt of the full data set. What if our all zero fragment decides to take an extended vacation? How's our poor receiver supposed to know it's time for the big acknowledgement dance number? Let's rewind the tape, cue the suspenseful music, and watch as our data packets try to tango without their all zero dance leader. Will chaos ensue, or will our act always mode have an ace up its sleeve? Looks like our sender's playing the waiting game. When the bitmap's a no-show, it fires off an ACK request, basically an all-zero fragment with no data. This sneaky move forces the receiver to cough up its bitmap, revealing that the all-zero or all-one is missing. Boogie on down, data friends. The window's now packed like Studio 54 on a Saturday night, and our receiver celebrating by sending out an acknowledgement with every single bit dressed up in its finest one outfit. Upon receiving the acknowledgement, the sender can clear its memory of the confirmed fragments and proceed to the next window. Look who's strutting onto the dance floor, a fresh fragment flashing its window 1 VIP pass. Quick as a disco flip, our receiver breaks out a brand new bitmap, ready to track these next generation groove makers.